about someone who has given back to the profession and her community in significant ways and received a number of awards. All of those people would be great role models. What about if we take all those people and put them together in one person? Well, that one person is Jane Boyle, who I am privileged to know. She is, as people say, the complete package. She doesn't want to look at me. And Jane is exactly the type of person we would all want to be when we grow up. There are many words I can use to describe her. And every time I think about it, I come up with more words, and you have many of your own. But she's smart and tough and determined, persistent, has great judgment. She's also lovely and kind and fun and compassionate, very interesting. And very importantly, Jane is very humble. Those are all wonderful characteristics. Now, even if you don't know her personally, you know her because of her public career. But I want to talk to you about some things you may not know about Jane, that she may not have on her resume. She and her wonderful husband, John Boyle, a husband of 28 years, have 2 great kids. Now they're adults. Their son, Joe, is a recent graduate of the Air Force Academy, and he's now in pilot training in Oklahoma. Their daughter, Casey, is finishing up at the Air Force Academy. Obviously, they've been wonderful parents, and I know they are so proud of those 2 great children and what they have been able to achieve. But there's still more. Now, she's certainly been active in giving back to her community and to the profession. We know that. She's received all kinds of awards and honors, and I invite you to read her wonderful CV that's in the program, which is just a small part of what she's achieved. But some things you may not know about her. She's an actress. She has put on a 20-pound McGruff costume. Oh, yes, John did tell me that. A 20-pound costume to teach kids about stranger danger. And I could just imagine her in a 20-pound McGruff. She's been a Cub and Boy Scout den mother. And you know that means herding all of these little boys together every week so they can achieve their merit badge levels and participate in scout activities. She's a lacrosse mom. She was in charge of multiple things, raising funds and managing things for the lacrosse activities at her children's schools. One of which was organizing the garage sales, which any of you know is a huge deal, soliciting participation by parents, going out and getting contributions of clothing and furniture and random items, even after people have renovated their houses, sometimes bathtubs and toilets and things. John says that all of that was at their house. And he said that sometimes it looked like it could have been one of the episodes in a series of the reality program Porters, because they had so much stuff there. She is also, despite her appearance, not somebody to mess with. Her sister, who's here, is her younger sister, and she and her sister Jane, and she'll introduce her family, were leaving Fair Park after a Bruce Springsteen concert. And as they were leaving, a man approached to attack him with a knife, and she pushed her sister behind her and protected her sister, and they ran him off eventually. And I think about what that particular person would realize if he realized that he was going after a future U.S. attorney and district judge, and her sister has just retired as an FBI agent. He didn't know what he was messing with. And on top of all of that, and on top of her, what you know to be her great instincts in protecting others, she is also a champion shooter. 2 weeks after she gave birth to Casey, She's still looking at John, yes. She placed at the top of the Dallas Police Department tournament for shooting, so what a woman. She is an extraordinary person, a wonderful role model for all of us. In her career achievements, certainly, her personal life, absolutely. And I am so proud to know her and call her my friend. I thank you for allowing me to introduce her, and please join me in applauding Judge Jane Boyle for her wonderful life and achievement in being a wonderful role model for women and everyone, and for being the recipient of this year's Louise Raggio Award.
My dear, sweet, wonderful friend Liz Langmeyers, who I have known and admired for so many years, raising our children together, and to have her speak of me in that way is the highest honor. Thank you so much. Another soul sister. Soul sisters. Thank you all. I don't really know how to adequately express what this means to me. I first would say just to be alongside the people that have received this honor over the years is more than enough than I could have imagined in my career. To be honored for something that, honestly, I've always just felt so lucky to be a lawyer and to be in this profession with all of you, and to get to know you and be close with you and fight with you and get close with you and learn with you and help people with you over 30-something years is, I don't know how else a person could have a better life than that. So, so I thank you for putting me among the ranks of these incredible people, honored by this incredible organization that has been around since the beginning, thanks to Louise Raggio. And I have to say a few things about Louise Raggio, because I didn't know her personally over the years. I had heard a lot about her, and I have learned more and more over the years about her that I want to talk just briefly about. But my first experience with her, and this is, how do you ever pay proper respect to someone like Louise Raggio, someone so selfless and so accomplished? And so I want to talk just a little bit about how I think that we can do that. But Louise Raggio, my first meeting with her was when I was sworn in as the first woman U.S. attorney in the Northern District of Texas. We now have another, that's Sarah. Great accomplishment for her. But she came to my swearing-in ceremony and asked E.X. Martin, a close family friend, to bring her. And she introduced herself to me, and she told me that she wanted to be there just to tell me how proud she was of me. And here she was in her 80s. Why she would want to come to a big public function like that and find the parking and come up there and wade through all those people, I didn't understand, but now I do. And she was proud of me. She was proud of all of you. And that's the way she was. Her accomplishments, nationally known and respected, she set the bar for women's accomplishments in the law and in the legislature. She was described by some people during her lifetime as the most important woman alive in the state of Texas. Everyone knows, and if you have any questions about it, all you have to do is Google, and there's the KERA piece on her that talks about all that she did. But she was responsible in large part for the Marital Property Act of 1967. If anyone doesn't know what that is, it changed lives. It changed men's and women's lives. And she took that on as a project. Before she got involved in this project, women who were married lost all rights. You were your husband. Long story short, she got involved in this. This was one of her many, many accomplishments. She was known as the mother of family law in Texas. She was the first female assistant district attorney And we have this in common. We both work for the legendary Henry Wade. But the story about her was that they had never had a woman. Henry Wade had never hired a woman. And Sarah Hughes, who could be pretty pushy herself and another great legend, called her one day and said to Louise, "Call Henry Wade. I think he's got something for you." So she called and he took her down there and he hired her as the first woman assistant district attorney. But she still wasn't allowed to try cases. About a year or so later, he put her in the criminal section, and she became the first woman to try a criminal case in the Dallas County area and maybe beyond that, and it made the news. They said that in the Austin American-Statesman, District Attorney Henry Wade adds a feminine touch. If you can imagine, that was the headline news in Austin. And beauty added to, this was the Dallas Morning News, something like a beauty added to the staff at the at the DA's offices, though this, having a woman there was so different. But she did great. She did for us all we needed her to do. She showed what she could do, and after that, women were hired at the DA's office, and later on, and on and on and on through the law firms, and gotten where they are today, which still isn't everywhere, but a long way. But I think that what I've gotten from reviewing the life of Louise Raggio, beyond her incredible accomplishments, that what she was really about, the essence of her, was that she lived her life for other people. Her family, her husband, her sons, her family is here today, her other women, and I think that's what she was all about. In fact, when she ended her career and she won one of her many awards, the Sandra Day O'Connor Award for Professional Excellence, she gave a talk, and it was called, this is what she said verbatim. She said, "I'd like to pass the torch that I have been carrying for 50 years. Pass it on to each of you and encourage you to figure out what to do to make this a better country." That was the essence of Louise Raggio. What you can do to make things better, not in any particular area. She said, see something that needs to be done and do it. So one other thing that she said, and I have to say this as an aside, is her first and most significant mentor in her life was her mother. Mom is here tonight, and I will have to say we share that as well. So I could go on, and I'm sure I've missed a lot of what I wanted to say, except that being in this profession and sharing it with all of you and these incredible people, men and women, who we are like a family, and we've gotten so much done together. I know that she's here in spirit. Louise is asking us to continue passing the torch, to do what all of you, particularly this organization, the Dallas Women Lawyers Association, has done for so many years, reach out and make this a better place. And I am so proud to be part of this and pay tribute to my wonderful husband, John, who, although he told those stories to Liz, I will forgive him because he has, in so many ways, been the person in my whole life that I respect more than anyone else. He has been my sounding board, and he has mostly just been so proud of me. Thank you, John. And thank you to all of you. Thank you to Michelle, and to all of you who have made this possible, Allison and Chris. I'm sorry.
Christy. There's Christy and Christy.
For all the work that you did to put this together, and God bless all of you. Thank you for being part of my life and part of this community. Can I have one more thing? Could my law clerks raise their hands? I guess I should just sort of go like this now. Thanks, John.
Very briefly, we have one more award to give out tonight. My name is Allison.
I'm honored to recognize our president this year, Michelle Hartman. If you've ever met Michelle, I'm sure you instantly liked her. She is a very positive person.
You asked. I clerked with her.
Well, maybe not at Housing Council, but I've never had that pleasure. But she is so smart, she's so nice, she's so giving, and she really is such a great example of the individual characteristics that the DWLA tries to promote. She's not only a great person, but she's also a great leader. Michelle had a very ambitious agenda this year and was able to accomplish much. This spring, she was able to bring in a New York Times bestseller to discuss her book and her personal struggles with domestic violence. And the event also benefited Hope's Door, which is a shelter for domestic abuse victims. She also planned an event that was extremely fun. It was entitled Dealing with the Boys, and it was a Texas Hold'em tutorial. So I'm sure you, by the title, know it was a tutorial on poker. That was extremely exciting this year and fun. And then also this year, Michelle helped plan a series of webinar CLEs that enabled our members to obtain CLE credit at their desks, and I think quite a few people appreciated that they didn't have to drive down to the Below to get some hours in. Michelle is such a valuable part of this organization, not only this year as president, but through her many years of service and years prior. So we would like to thank Michelle for her year as president of DWLA. Thank you.
My only regret is that I right now don't have a desk to put it on because I'm in between firms, but this will find a good home. And then if anybody wants to buy a raffle ticket, Rico has been very nice, and they are donating a digital camera. And then Susan Steger, who I don't see here this evening, she owns a winery in Athens, Texas, called Terra, and she's also donated a night stay at the inn, which is a lovely place to stay, and many of us have spent several fun nights there. Yes, ma'am?
You might remember my husband won it a couple of years ago, and we totally enjoyed it. It's worth buying a bunch of tickets.
So with that great public announcement, we have several tickets here. It's going to go to help our scholarship recipients in the future. So it's also for a good cause. And it's $5 a ticket or 5 tickets for $20. And Allison and I will have the tickets if anybody would like to buy some. Or you can come up right now and show everyone else how wonderful you are and buy tickets. Thank you so much. And please, all the food's paid for, so drink and eat until it's gone. Thanks.